friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are documenting Santa letters. So for my day 9 story is about letters to Santa. It was a bit of an not an ordeal, that's not a good word. Josh was very good about writing the letter to Santa, but it was actually pretty fun getting it done. So what I did in advance, so I wouldn't be here forever, was I made some envelopes using my We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. I will get it so you can see it. This is what it looks like. This is the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. This is what I used to make my envelopes, and I made 2 envelopes designed to hold 6x6 cards. So the envelopes are a little bit larger than 6. They're like 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. And then I stamped Dear Santa, and I hand wrote, and I wanted to handwrite the letter. So I hand wrote my letter, which mine is significantly longer than my husband's, but I hand wrote my letter, and then I had him handwrite his, and he was a good sport about it, and he wrote his letter. And so here is what that looks like. Okay, so the plan for this page is to have the wait, I'm doing this wrong again. Every time I do this wrong. Oh, it's like this. Okay, I planned this page like 5 times and still forgot to do it. So the plan for this page is to have the envelopes like lay like this, so that when you lift this up, this comes down, and then you can pull out his card and my card. That's the plan for this page, and then that way it goes into the book like this. And then the back side of this I will cover for day 10. I'll do some stamping or something and cover for day 10. So that's what I have so far. The other thing I have is this is a cut file from Paige Evans, and if you're not part of her Happy Scrappy Facebook group, you're really missing out if you're on Facebook, because she gives free cut files every week. This was a free file. I did not have to pay for it. And it says, let your heart be light. So I sized it to, you know, just about the same size as my envelopes. And so this is going to go on a piece of transparency that's going to flip, you know, the next. So it's going to be 2 pages, but I really wanted the cut file on top of them. And then what I did in Silhouette Studio was I took the inner pieces, like the letters, and I used the offset tool. This does require a little bit of know-how when it comes to like dissecting a cut file, but if you release the compound path, you can isolate all of these inner pieces. And then I just did an offset so that it would cut it a little bit larger than it needs to be. I like them. Now this is a personal choice, but I like my pieces to be a little bit larger than they need to be so that I can do funky layering things. So you'll see these are just a tad bit bigger than the space. So I'm going to quickly go in and back this cut file. And then the reason I have this piece, now this piece is this without these like inner pieces, like I hope I'm making sense, is I'm going to glue this to the back of it so that I have a solid thing on the back. And on the back side of this, I'm going to stamp Define Good multiple times until it like fills up the space. I'm just going to stamp Define Good over and over. I saw Allie do this in her album on the back side of a cut file. I thought this was really fun because it's just going to be visually interesting, right? Like you're not going to really be able to read it, but it'll say Define Good over and over. I think that'll be fun. And then after that, all there is to do is embellish this page. So day 10 is, I want to say, relatively easy compared to some of the other pages I've made. Because it's just, like I said, it's just the letters to Santa. So it doesn't need to be anything like super ornate or involved. So I'm just going to quickly go in and back this cut file. I will not make you watch me do this because this is very tedious. And it would be even less tedious if my glue would work. Yeah, I'm not going to make you watch me do this because backing cut files is very tedious. And I cheated and I let my machine do all the hard work. So we're going to, like I said, quickly go in and back this, and then I'll come back when I have this piece assembled. we're back. So I've gone ahead and back to my cut file and done my stamping, and I left a little bit of the stamping so you can see I was originally going to stamp with this color called Rose Petals, but it was a little too deep, so I ended up going with Twilight. And I could have used a paler pink, but I figured with all the colors that are already going on this page, it would make more sense to just stamp in a neutral color. So that's why I went with the gray. Now I'm looking for my 6-hole punch. I use this thing every day, and every single day I lose it. I need to just put things back in the same place. All right, so I found my 6-hole punch and I punched my holes, and I chose to punch them towards the bottom because there was no way for me to get it evenly across the top. This is a 6-inch wide piece of acetate. It's 6 by 7, which might actually be too wide. I should trim it down to 6 by 6 3/4, because that is how wide the album is, and that extra 1/4 of an inch might just be too long. All right, so I've taken that down to 6 by 6 3/4, and now I'm literally just going to glue my cut file, and that's what it looks like back. Now I intentionally left it a little strange and a little wonky, so I could have, like you'll see in the close-ups that the letters don't match up perfectly, and that is done on purpose, because I wanted the little bleed through of the edges, and those are just design choices that I like to make. I like my art to be a little bit messy, a little bit imprecise, and I think that looks really fun. Now I had planned, when I cut these, for each row to just be one color, and then I realized that some of the letters were the same front and back, so I could flick them. Like, you can't really do that with an E, right? But like with a Y or an H, like, I realized some of the letters were front and back, so I actually opted to mix my rows up a little bit. So that's why you'll see there's like this one pop of coral in this dark green row. There's that pink A. I did the back side of the I and H and T. I just thought that was fun, and that's a decision I made literally on the fly as I was backing the file. And so now I'm going to flip that over and then do my best, my very best, to line up the back side of this with that front side. And then I did my stamping, you know, define good over and over. And this is just so when you flip that acetate piece, because it's on acetate, like it's on something clear, you have something to look at on the back side. All right, so we're going to do our best. And I'm just going to use the lights as my anchor point, because those are kind of fixed in place, right? Now, if this isn't perfect, that is okay. But we're going to try to get pretty close. Actually, you know what? I might intentionally offset. I'm going to intentionally offset it. Since I'm not going to get it, I'm just going to intentionally offset it, because it's already working where it's not going to be perfect. So we're going to intentionally offset it. So now it looks like I did that on purpose. There we go. We fake it till we make it. All right, so see, you can still see that it says define good, which I think is really fun. Even though like the letters are cut off, you can still read that it says define good over. It just says define good, and then it says define with the G. I filled in that space, which was the important part, and then when you flip it, you get some of that like white shadow layer behind the cut file, which I just think that's a really fun effect. And I used and I'm not gluing the lights down, like you might have seen that. I kind of like the way they look all popped up. They're gonna like eventually get flat in the album. I'm not like really worried about them, like the integrity of them in the long run, because they're going to be flat in the album. But I just thought it'd be fun to kind of leave them kind of dimensional so that they can pop up. But then once I turn the page, they're gonna be flat. So those are not glued down on purpose. And there's plenty of real estate on the blocky letters that they won't move. So that's what that looks like. Now we're going to just assemble our envelopes, which is really easy because the punch board does all the work for me. Just going to put some double-sided adhesive here and here. I am not reading my husband's letter. He doesn't want me to. And honestly, I wouldn't read it out loud anyway, because that's, you know, that's his journaling, and that's something that I don't think I need to share with the internet. I will happily share my stories because they're my stories, but that's his journaling. And so, yeah, I'm not reading. How did I do this? Every time I do this wrong. Oh, it's like this. Okay. Yeah, so that's his story, so I'm not reading his journaling. I'll read you mine, though. My Santa letter. When I write letters to Santa, which I do every year, my Santa letters are a mix of tangible things that can go under the Christmas tree and intangibles. I am doing this backwards. Okay, so this goes like this. Hold on. I just gotta make sure I'm doing this right. This goes like this, and then this unfolds, and then, oh, my letter's in here backwards. That's why it's freaking me out. Okay, well, the letter doesn't need to be in there yet. I can take the letter and put it out. And I stamped mine in green because I knew it was going in the green envelope, and then I stamped his in red. Because there was plenty of colors I could have choose from. Wow, English is hard. There's plenty of I had a large color palette to pick from for his envelope, so I just chose to go with red and green because they were classic holiday colors. So that's why I made that choice. Okay, so now that gets stuck down like that. And like I said, for day 10, I will back this with something else. Now I'm just going to put a Velcro sticker on this. And with the amount of times I use my Velcro stickers during December daily, you would think I would leave them out on my desk so I had access to them all the time, but that would make too much sense. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of a scrap of acetate to punch the holes in so that that's how it hangs out in my album. And I'm going to put the acetate on today so that when I back it for tomorrow when I'm working on day 10, I don't have to worry about how it's going to go into my album because I already have that plastic piece. Now, I do need the holes to line up with this, so I think I'm going to actually manually punch my holes and then attach it. So I'm going to go do that. I'm going to use my power punch. I'm going to manually punch my holes in because it would just be easier for me to line it up doing it that way than trying to put it in my 6-hole punch. And then I'll come back just in time to embellish these envelopes. Okay, so I went into my stash and I pulled out a few things. This is also from Hey Santa. This is the crepe paper line. And so I pulled out this because I saw this said Hello December, and I thought this would be fun to just put on the outside of the envelopes. And I like this really, ooh, this is going to be interesting to put down. I like this really like ornate, like almost scripty font. I could never like hand letter like this, but on the bright side I don't have to because Puffy stickers like this exist. So I'm gonna put down Hello December. Actually, I kind of want it centered, so I'm gonna have to move that D, and I think that looks straight enough. It's straight-ish, so that's good enough. So I'm gonna put down Hello December, and I'm gonna put down one of those snowflakes. It would be so much easier for me if this was all one word, but here to work, so let's just get this done. So I'm gonna spell out Hello December, and then I will put a snowflake, and then I think what I might do is put a snowflake on the cut file also to kind of tie together the gold element so it's not just here, because like this is one complete spread, right? Like the cut file does belong. I don't want it to look like this is separate because my number is going to go on the cut file. I'm not going to put the number on this. So here we go. That says Hello December, and I'm just going to get a small-ish snowflake that hopefully will fit here. And I love when crepe paper or any of the American Crafts lines do this really skinny gold like font, or even rose gold. Oh, that's so cute. All right, I love that so much. I love when they do that really skinny, like ornate font. I think that's gorgeous. Okay, so let's see. Maybe I'll put a bow. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just put a bow right here. And then, are there numbers? And then this is from Marigold. Oh, there are numbers. Perfect. This is from Marigold. So this is not the same Hey Santa line, but it's also crepe paper and it's also American Crafts. So these things tend to kind of just go together. So I'm going to put my 9 right in the middle of the A and put that bow on top. And I think that is just, that's such a stunning touch. Really easy to do. And then you flip that, you have your Define Good, which I just think that's so fun. I don't know, I feel like that's from a movie or something where it's like, Hey Santa, Define Good. I don't know where it came from. I did not make that up. Oh, and I also put my Velcro sticker in, which I need more Velcro stickers. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to do is put his and hers on these envelopes. And then I'm not like embellishing them any further. I don't like, this isn't like a traditional like 12 by 12 scrapbook layout where I need a million things on these pages. I'm just keeping them really easy. Also, I do want them to be able to fold flat. So I don't want to add like, you know, foam and a bunch of other things because I need them to fold flat, relatively flat, I guess. That is his, not hers. I do need them to fold relatively flat when they're in the album. So I'm just gonna put these puffy stickers. Spelling his and hers is almost beyond me today. I'm not sure what is up with me. It's like a 3-letter word and a 4-letter word. Ooh, we are skipping these tittles on these eyes. I am not. All right, I'll put the tittle. I find tittle just to be a really like fun word to say. It's the dot that goes on the I and the J. And I just find it it's a real fun word. All right, so there we go. So there's his. And you guys got to watch me fuss with puffy stickers for entirely too long. And then I need an E because I have the R and the S on my hand, which is also, my hand tends to be my palette when I'm doing stuff like this. I literally just put puffy stickers on my hand so I'm not flipping the same page over and over. There we go. So his and hers. Really, I don't even know if the camera's picking up on that, but it's just the gold foil on the Santa piece might be a little hard to see on camera, but it looks really good in person. All right, that folds up, says hello December. That's how that looks. And that is day 10, all done. Really simple. We have a cut file that flips pages, and then you have the envelopes. I will quickly read you my Santa letter. So I wrote, Dear Santa, I have been the best of girls this year, and as such, I think I deserve everything on this list. I would like a blending board and a spinning wheel so I can make my own yarn. I would like the world to learn a little kindness, grace, and patience, and to remember how to love each other. I would like Noah to learn how to say titi. I would like to find ease in a life lived wide open. I would like a PS5 just so I can play God of War. I would like to find the ICU job of my dreams. I would like tangles and starlight to grow. I would like to complete my distress ink collection. I would like to find a bottomless stash of glitter chipboard stars. I would like to always remember what reckless hope feels like. I would like Astoria to like me a little more and Minerva to like Joshua a little less. I would like the Scrappy Sisters to continue being great. I really want that PS5. I would like to remember how important kindness and compassion is and to never forget how very loved I am. Love, your favorite storyteller, Tashiana Gordon. And I dated it. So I signed it and I dated it. And I had Joshua sign and date his as well. His is a little bit shorter than mine, but he's not as wordy as I am. So that's day 10 in the book, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. Please leave a comment below, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you're writing Santa letters with your family, and I will see you for this was day 9. I said day 10 this entire video, and this was day 9. I will see you tomorrow for day 10. So until next time, keep your crafty and have the very best day, and I'll see you around. Bye for now.